Louis C.K. in the hot seat for jokes he made. Oh man, controversy. So you don't want to go anywhere. You want to stay right here, stay with me, because we're going to get into some real stuff. All right, you guys know this guy, right? It's Louis C.K., okay? Now, I'm going to cover Louis C.K. I'm going to cover the Louis C.K.'s latest scandal. The new one, the new scandal, okay? The new scandal. There's been like 2 Louis C.K. stories in the last week or so. One was he used the N-word with Chris Rock and Ricky Gervais. Well, Louis and Chris Rock was like, we like using the N-word all the time. Seinfeld was the only one who wouldn't do it. He was like, no, I'm not going to do it. That's stupid. I know what happened to Kramer. But that's not the story I'm going to cover. What I'm going to cover, I'm going to cover the latest with Louis C.K. is where he did it. He's obviously he's back doing his stand-up comedy. And he did some sets, some stuff. He did some bits in this new act, or I don't know if it's his new act, but he was working out some bits in the club, and someone recorded it in the audience, and they put it up on YouTube, and they put it out there to the world. Right? And what I have for you guys is the actual stuff he said on stage that has people pissed off. Now, I want you to know, if you do not want to hear this, now would be a good time to cut down the volume of your thing. Because Louis C.K. is blue, dark, very graphic type of humor. You know what I'm saying? So, if you don't want to hear what Louis said, turn down. Don't complain about the clip. Just don't listen to the clip.
You gotta really base it on the kid themselves, because you can't base it on like some idea like 16 years old is too young to do drugs. By the time I was 16, I had quit doing drugs. By the time I was 16, I was like, I gotta fucking stop. This shit is ruining my life. But I'm a little disappointed in the younger generation, honestly, because I'm 51 years old, and when I was like 18 to my 20s, I mean, we were idiots. We were getting high, doing fucking mushrooms and shit, and then older people were like, you gotta get your shit together, and we were like, yeah, fuck you. And I was kind of excited to be in my 50s and see people in their 20s and be like, they're crazy. These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're fucking, they're just boring. Fucking telling them, you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the fuck are you doing? That's not appropriate. Fuck you, you're a child. Why are you finger fucking each other and doing jello shots? Like, why aren't you... You should address me. They're like royalty. They tell you what to call them. You should address me as they, them. Because I identify as gender neutral. Oh, okay. You should address me as their. And the location is your mother's cunt. It doesn't have to be that nasty. But it can be. I don't know, they testify in front of Congress, these kids? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? You're young, you should be crazy. You should be unhinged. Not in a suit saying, I'm here to tell, fuck you. You're not interesting. Because you went to a high school where kids got shot? Why does that mean I have to listen to you? How does that make you interesting? You didn't get shot, you pushed some fat kid in the way, and then now I gotta listen to you talking?
All right, I'm going to stop it there. I think that I've gone far enough. Louis C.K. made some jokes, right? I find it hilarious that there are people out there like really going through jokes like this, like, you know. Rewind that again. Play it back a little bit more. Okay. Like, you're not supposed to do that with jokes, dumbass. Jokes are not people's statements. Jokes are jokes. Like, you never know why a person says a joke. Right? It's not a speech. At least it shouldn't be. And I've been working really hard to be able to, like, tell jokes. Because they're jokes. Punchlines. It doesn't mean you actually feel the way. It doesn't mean you agree with the joke for someone to tell a joke. Like, I don't know, any joke that you would tell. So I have a problem. I don't understand people that listen to this and then start deciphering it, trying to come up with, well, was he right to say this? And was that inappropriate? Like, that's not what jokes are about. It's not what comedy is about at all. And you would know that. But see, this is what I think, guys. I think a lot of people don't like Louis C.K. right now. I think a lot of people detest him because of all this, because they said he touched himself in front of women without their permission. So they don't like Louis C.K. and they don't want to hear him. They don't want to hear him talking. And they definitely don't want to hear him talking about the Parkland shooting or about gender neutral people or anything that's controversial. But here's the thing. This is the type of stuff that Louis C.K. has been talking about his whole career. He's been telling jokes for 30 years. In the last 25 years, my understanding is he's done this type of shock humor. That's all he's ever done, is shock people with his jokes. He talks badly about his kids, badly about himself, badly about powerful people, badly about poor people and black people and white people and Asian people and Mexican people, which he's Mexican, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. But what I'm saying is, I understand you don't like a joke, but damn it, if you're going to sit up like TYT, right, the Young Turks, because Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian, they covered this.
Not too happy about what he had to say there in his stand-up.
Yeah, so I listened to a lot of the stand-up. It was nearly an hour long, and it's important context. And look,
and they went on and on about what wasn't right, and they're really disappointed that he was punched down. And look, he's not a politician. He's not a politician on Twitter. He is a comedian on a stage. And I don't know if you can hear this or not, but the people in the place where he was telling the jokes, they got it. They got it. That doesn't mean you like it. You don't have to like Louis C.K. In fact, I'm not a huge Louis C.K. fan. I don't like I personally don't go as far as Louis C.K. I would never make. Someone said, Tim, you're defending Louis C.K. I hope that your DVD didn't have anything about the Parkland kids. I'm like, God, man, I wouldn't even think to say something about the Parkland kids. Like, that's, survivors of shootings. I don't know how you make it funny, but I do think Louis C.K. has every right to try. Just because it's not for me doesn't mean somebody else far more skilled or with an eye for it or with an ear for it or whatever, doesn't want to give it a go. So all I'm saying is, we don't have to like it. We don't have to find it funny. But let's remember, we are talking about jokes. What I find hypocritical as hell is that there are babies starving in Yemen. Hell, there are people living on the streets here in America. On the streets, just in cold weather, just on the streets. There are citizens dying because they can't afford their medications. There's a 7-year-old who got shot, killed in a car with her mama. And these people are really upset about jokes, when we got so much other shit that we need to be concerned about. Now, I know there's, we can multitask, but if you're going after comedians for jokes they say in nightclubs, I don't think you got that much bandwidth. As some of you know, I was on a comedy tour last year. But check this out. What I've done is we put together my first comedy special. People got on me, they like really pissed off at me. They said I talk too much about Hillary. They said, Tim, that's not right. If you talk about her, she could be the first female president. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Evil has no gender. Obama, he lied a lot, but he was covert with his lies.
Anyway, here we are.
People, when they lie, they got a tail. His tail was he started stuttering. Every once in a while, someone would ask him a question, they got through the crowd, and, hey, Obama, why do you support the TPP, man? That's not good for the unions. I thought the Democrats support the unions. He was like, hold on. If you don't like that impression, it's gonna be a hard night. Now, the way to get Trump to lie to you and get it on camera is very scientific. And I'm gonna give it to you because you guys seem like good people. The way you get Trump to lie is you just ask him a fucking question. That's it. We can't win a revolution on Twitter. Racist People Suck is now available for streaming and downloading at racistpeoplesuck.com. Get it today.